If you've seen more mosquitoes in Siouxland, you're not alone. KTIV's Taylor Deckard stopped by one South Dakota park to see how they're working to mitigate the issue and what medical providers say to do once you've already been bitten. It's tonight's Healthbeat 4.
We're off to a wet summer, and with the moisture comes the mosquitoes.
We work closely with the South Dakota Department of Health, and they've kind of given us a little heads up saying, you know what, be prepared for a larger number of mosquitoes this year.
In Vermillion, South Dakota, the Parks and Rec Department has implemented a mosquito control program, monitoring the breed grounds and removing as many as they can. Places like baseball parks, golf courses, anywhere with big grassy open areas can be a breeding ground for mosquitoes if not taken control of.
Where it's just like a little party for the mosquitoes to come in and get people.
To help mitigate the issue, the department has placed mosquito magnets around public outdoor spaces like the ball fields to catch and track the bug.
We use a multifaceted approach as far as we use the larvicide where we throw briquettes or some type of a granular product in standing water or stagnant water where mosquitoes can breed before they hatch.
Now, if you've been bit and see the red bumps on your skin, how do you know it's severe enough to see a doctor?
The biggest issue on these bites is when they start to get infected. And that usually happens because of the fact that they itch and we continually just scratch them, and we basically introduce a bacteria into that scratch. It starts to get to the point where you see a streak that starts to move and run from that area heading back towards the body, especially if it's on an arm or a leg, or you start seeing the area continuing to get bigger and bigger and bigger in terms of redness and discomfort, then we typically need to do an antibiotic.
There are some things doctors recommend to help prevent bugs from biting.
It is recommended to wear light-colored clothing because they actually are drawn to you by certain things like your sweat, your body heat, even certain food types that some people enjoy actually make people essentially mosquito magnets.
But they say don't let the limitations of a bite prevent you from enjoying all that Mother Nature has to offer.
Don't be afraid to go outside. Just go out and enjoy the outdoors when we have great weather and enjoy South Dakota, Iowa, wherever you're at. Just enjoy the outdoors.
In Vermillion, South Dakota, for Healthbeat 4, Taylor Deckard, KTIV News 4.
Parks and Rec and local health providers both recommend an insect repellent that contains DEET, and they say to follow labeled instructions and take steps to avoid overexposure.